The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
Hey, what's happening? Excuse me. Welcome to the show, Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me if you want to join the show. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're on every day, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. right here on joynetradio.com. You can also call me up at 855-525-5683. That's the number. That's how you get in touch with me if you'd like to join the show. We certainly would love to have you join the show. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, send me an email at blackfocusradio@gmail.com. The same namesake is on Twitter. Well, I'm not really on Twitter. I hadn't used Twitter in months now. But Facebook and YouTube as well. Black Focus Radio. So, a lot of stuff to talk about today. Got a great black fact that's going to come up for you here in just a minute. It's one of my favorites. You hear me talk about Sheikh Anta Diop and Ivan Van Sertima and George Jones. But this guy is one of the preeminent that we're going to talk to, or at least listen to. A pretty extensive cut of his for our Black Fact today. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Southwest Airlines. I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, and my daughter got caught up in this mess. I'll tell you how she got home. And I remember, and I'll reminisce a little bit about my nightmare this past summer with Southwest Airlines, that they still haven't paid me my money. So it's no use in trying to call them. It's just a nightmare. And I certainly feel sorry for those people. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. And, you know, I've got my new camera now. And we're going to be experimenting with this because after the first of the year, our goal is to start doing a live podcast, or at least a video podcast where we can upload it and you can go out and look at it. You can see me, things of that nature. We're going to ask you to do some advertising, all of those things as well, okay? So you'll be seeing more and more of that, all right? We're also going to talk about the New York Congressman who lied his way into office, and what are you expecting from the Republicans based on their history? But I'm going to try to find some tape on this guy. This guy is just, he's pathetic. He's just really pathetic, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa today as well. We'll do more of that just to keep you up to date and in the know on that and what's happening with Kwanzaa. Ed Reed, we'll talk about him. Congratulations for his new job. And if we get a chance, we'll talk about the cancer patient that was arrested for smoking pot. And you know what? I can kind of understand it based on where he was, because he could have killed somebody. Now, I certainly empathize and sympathize with his condition, but he was a little out of line. I'm going to be honest. So we'll talk about that, all of that today and more. But before anything, and before we even do the Black Fact, well, I tell you what, the Black Fact, this is part of the Black Fact. How about that? You know, because we always got to do Black Facts, and it is about Kwanzaa. So before we do anything, let's just go ahead and open the Black Fact.
Dynamic Black Facts. Our culture, our history, our people.
So as you know, this is Kwanzaa week, and it's always exciting for me. I personally celebrate Kwanzaa, probably has been doing so since I first heard about it. And I want to say, probably 25, 30 years ago, while living in Memphis. And we celebrated it at the church where I attended at the time, Greater Imani, which is one of the Kwanzaa principles. So as you know, it is 7 days. It's called the Nguzo Saba. It is celebrated from December 26th through January 1st. And it's simply designed to bring some community and positivity to our community. Okay? And we've already had 3 days. Today is Wednesday. Today is Thursday. So you start off with Ujamaa, which is unity. And just quickly, Ujamaa means unity, but more importantly, it's to strive and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Okay? That's Ujamaa. Kujichagulia, which means self-determination, is to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. This is probably one of my favorites. Okay? So that's day 2, Kujichagulia. J3, I can't even speak. Day 3 is Ujamaa, or Ujima, depending on how you want to pronounce it, but most people pronounce it Ujamaa, which is collective work and responsibility. It means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. So that means we've got to work together in order to solve our problems. Okay, so that's Ujamaa or Ujamaa. Today is Ujamaa. Okay? And Ujamaa means cooperative economics. And this is probably, and you can certainly take any one of the Nguzo Saba and say this is the most important one. But I'm sorry to say that it really begins with your finances. And Ujamaa has got to be probably the number one Kwanzaa principle that we ought to focus on in our community. The number one. That doesn't mean that you forget about the others. But it means to build and maintain our own stores, our shops and other businesses, and to profit from them together. That's what's hurting us. If you remember the clip I played by Tony Brown, and you know what? And I might just I tell you what. Let's do that right now. Okay, let's do that right now because I think it's important for us to understand what this is really all about. Because we miss the boat so much, and we can't say we don't have money. But if we're going to change our situation, it's got to start with how we spend our money. And I don't care. I don't want to hear that mess that you all like to talk about. Well, there ain't no black businesses. Well, part of the reason there are no black businesses is because you don't support black businesses. Okay? That's part of the reason. All right? Here we go. Let's see if we can.
In the world, that white people can free black people because freedom is not white people's to give. 2, white people, as I said in the piece, cannot do for us what we refuse to do for ourselves. Whether or not whites like blacks or blacks like whites, I frankly have no interest in that at all. I have no interest in managed society. I'm not interested in having to sit next to people because they're white. I'm interested in being equal. And the only way you're equal is to have power. Not whether or not white people have been fair, not whether they're nice people, not whether or not black people are good or bad, but whether or not you as a community of people have the instruments of defense and in some cases of aggression to protect your turf and or your interests. You can't have 30 million people handing over to another people 100% of their resources and blaming them for 100% of their problems. That is not intelligent. So what we need to do in the black community is A, decide to be competitive. And the only way we're going to be competitive is to use our resources. There's no way.
You all get that, right? That's cooperative economics. The only way in the black community that we're going to get anywhere is that we've got to be competitive. And when I say competitive, that means in business, that means in finance, that means in dollars and cents. Period. End of story. Ujamaa is probably the most, Ujamaa is probably the most important Kwanzaa principle that we need to focus on today. Now, there's certainly others, but Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Okay? That's today. That's the fourth principle of Kwanzaa, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. That's what we've got to do, folks. That's what we've got to do. Okay? So, that's part of the Black Facts, but we continue. Dr. John Henry Clark, Christianity Before Christ. Now, this lecture goes on an hour and 13 minutes. We're not going to play the full one. Okay? We're not going to do that. We're going to play about 15 minutes of this. I want you to get an idea of what's going on. I told you, we dropping knowledge on this show. It's called Black Focus Radio, and right now, let's jump into this Black Fact.
Blaming them for 100% of their problems. That is
Black
not
Americans.
There's no way.
Caribbeans out of Africa. Brought only African people, and all of them had to become what the system made them become. And so we have to understand that all of us belong to a collective African family away from home. Then subsequently, we are going to have to go back home or make some kind of contribution to Africans in Africa. All right, that's not my point. That's not the subject for tonight, but it is a subject that we cannot avoid. All right, now, why the emphasis on Africa and the rise of Christianity? And I'll tell you how I came to the subject briefly. Because I learned to read very early, because I wanted to teach Sunday school in a Baptist church, and because I was under the persuasion of a great lady, my great-grandmother, one of the great loves of my existence, because she was devoutly religious and a believer in the Bible to the point of saying everything in the Bible is true and not to be contradicted. And when I found all those white images and went to Grandma, Grandma said, "Shut up, boy. That's God's word." When I mentioned the curse and asked the question, what did we do as a people to get cursed? She rationalized it and said that, well, one day the veil will be lifted and we'll be freed of the curse. I could not deal with this because I had so much faith in her and her deep religious belief that everything in the Bible was true. I had not grown up, of course. I had not read books about how the Bible got written. I did not know at that time how to separate history from Jewish folklore. I did not know that principally the Bible is a Jewish survival book and a very good one, and that some of it is pure history, some of it is pure folklore, but all of it is spirituality. And we must understand, all of it was told as a spiritual story and for the spiritual enhancement of all men. I had not at that time looked at the Egyptian version and the Ethiopian version of the Bible. It was not until the late 30s that I saw an Ethiopian Bible, and in the Ethiopian Bible there was only one white character, and that was the devil. I had not at that time been exposed to all of that, or the literature concerning the religions of the world. I saw that Africa was the basis of all the three major world religions. What I want to look at not only Africa as the basis of the world's religions, I want to look at the spirituality of the world of that day before the formal development of these religions. Because these religions were developed out of the spirituality that existed at the time. And that the spirituality at the time and the religions at the time was not a weekend thing. It was an all-conclusive thing, that it embraced the life of its inheritance. To such an extent, your religion determined your dress, your marriage, your diet. It determined where you lived. It determined the totality of your life. And it was not a partial thing in your life. It was a total thing in your life, as your choice of spirituality supposed to be. Western man made it something that it was never intended to be. Now, my main point is that all of the elements that went into the making of the world's three major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all of the elements existed in Africa 3,000 years before the formal development of these religions. We want to look at these elements and look at these stories. Then we want to deal with the Hebrew entry and to what extent they copied African folklore and made this folklore a part of their history, and the same folklore having existed in Africa for thousands of years before they arrived. Now, what you have to look at also is the fact that we are talking about a period in the history of the world when there was no such thing as Europe. It's hard for you to believe this, and it is hard for you to understand that for most of the existence of the world, for most of the time, man has been functioning in the world there was no such place as Europe. Now,
listen,
we're looking at civilizations that existed before the creation of a place in West.
You're listening to Dr. John Henry Clark. It's called Christianity Before Christ. Listen.
What you have to understand is the impact of the glacial age. And the glacial age hit Europe. For most of the existence of these early civilizations, Europe was an ice cap and was uninhabited. It was only after the melting of this ice that people could go into Europe and form a civilization or a way of life. And these first people were Africans. Now, you're wondering, how did they become white? Well, it's a longer story that we can tell. But nature endows man and woman with the covering they need where nature put them down. And nature subtracts from man and woman things that they do not need in the climate and in the environment where nature put them down or where they choose to dwell. All right, now, Christianity developed out of African humanistic values and social thought. These humanistic values and social thought was old in Africa and remained in Africa for thousands of years before someone gave the religion a name. In other words, there was probably more Christianity before someone decided that it should have a name, and they put a name on it. Now, this is reflected in a lot of literature, some written by our own writers. John Jackson's Pagan Origins of the Christ Myth, where he traces the concept of Christ in 26 civilizations, all 1,000 miles apart. And there's another work, Man, God, and Civilization, and another pamphlet, The African Origins of Christianity. And his new work, only out a few months ago, Christianity Before Christ. Now, the unfortunate thing about a book like Christianity Before Christ is that a lot of people will read the title, be intrigued with the title, and little afraid to read the book. And yet, he has treated the subject with great delicacy and with great respect. All he has done is to point out that all of the elements that ultimately went into the making of Christianity existed in Africa before Christ, and someone came along and a set of circumstances made man formalize those elements and give it a name. Now, that is not disrespectful of the religion at all. It is a tracing of the origins of the religion to African sources, Nile Valley sources, mainly Ethiopia and the nations in the Nile Valley. We're not emphasizing Egypt alone, because Egypt alone was not the producers of this great civilization. A complex of nations in the Nile Valley produced this civilization and produced the religion. The concept of worship and the concept of a single God first appeared in Ethiopia. But the formalization of the concept would later appear in Egypt during the period of Akhenaten. All right, now, my point is that in looking at the religion, we have to look at the history at the same time. And we have to look at some of the literature around it, especially John Jackson's work, Ethiopia and the Origins of Civilization, and the pagan origins of the Christ myth, and other works, including the later work on the African origins of Christianity. All right. He shows also how this religion spread to India, spread to other parts of the world, and took on...
You're listening to Dr. John Henry Clarke, Christianity Before Christ. Wow. What we're going to do is we'll stop it because this is an hour-long lecture, and we'll stop it at about 14 minutes, which is what we've done, and we'll pick it up again on our next show. This will be our Black Fact for the next few days, because I think you need to understand part of all the stuff that I studied were religious texts, or people who were religious people who were writing history. And you quickly began to find out some startling stuff, as he just said. The relationship to one God began in Ethiopia. Wow. And then it moved up to Egypt, and where they began to principle it, to put it together. Whew, this is some good stuff right here, folks. Free your mind and your butt will follow. That's our Black Fact for today.
Keep listening to Black Focus Radio for more dynamic Black facts, our culture, our history, our people on joynetradio.com.
And don't forget, if you would like to sponsor Dynamic Black Facts, give me a call at 615-554-0568 and we'll hook you up. We are looking for sponsors. You'll be hearing more from me pretty soon, and more commercials, and you're gonna get video and all that stuff. We are testing the video setup right now as we speak. And if it comes out okay, I guess I'll upload it, okay? And see how that works. Because from what I understand, Spotify lets you upload video now. So there you go. Anyway, we got to take our first break. When we come back, we got to talk about Southwest Airlines. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. It's one of those old sayings, you can pay me now or pay me later. Back in a moment. You're listening to Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices on joynetradio.com.
David W. Coleman here for Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and Rib Nuts. Go to ribrub.com, that's RIBBRUBB.com right now, and stock up on the best dry marinades for baking, grilling, and smoking your favorite meats. 3 great flavors, hot and spicy, original, and scorching. Try them at your next cookout and you will shout, bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah! Only one place to get Coleman's Dynamic products, that's ribrub.com. Easy to order, and I'll ship direct to you or to friends and family anywhere in the United States. While on the site, be sure to check out other great items, especially the rib nuts. Who'da thunk it? Peanuts sauteed in a barbecue marinade? That's just crazy good. Get them at ribrub.com right now, along with other great recipes. That's ribrub.com. If you don't like my rib rub or rib nuts, I'll give you money back. Do it today. That's Coleman's Dynamic Products at ribrub.com.
Synergy Insurance Group is the small business that we need to turn everybody on to. Javita Nelson is the expert advisor and licensed in 20 states. Synergy Insurance Group has been offering personalized insurance services since 1997. Call Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS. She can help you with old-fashioned personal service. Synergy Insurance Group is the one that you want and need for affordable insurance, specializing in burial plans that will allow you and yours to personalize your final expenses. Check out Synergy Insurance Group on the web at synergyinsgroup.biz or talk to Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS.
The purpose of this commercial is to promote various insurance products. National producer numbers 1661510 and 7529748.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's Durable Medical Equipment Company. Because of COVID, many of us have lost our jobs and are unable to feed our kids like we wish. If your child is underweight, 5 years of age or older, and on Medicaid, you may be able to get formula to help them regain their healthy weight. You will need a prescription from their primary care physician and give us a call and let us help. Our number is 501-663-1553. We are open 5 days a week from 9 to 5. Have your doctor fax your prescription to our fax line, which is 501-661-0738 today. Keeping your child healthy is our priority. That's Habibi's, your durable medical equipment center. We are located 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. That number again is 663-1553. 663-1553.
Hey guys, this is David Ashley, Deacon David Ashley. I want to turn y'all on to the Deacon Days radio show. It's a praise project. We're going to be playing music from inspirational artists and gospel artists from all over the world, never ever heard of. And also we'll be interviewing and asking them very pertinent questions to why and how they came up with their music. Don't forget, the Deacon Days radio show, it's a praise project. Saturdays from 10 to 11 on joynetradio.com.
I guess I need to turn my mic on. Welcome back to the show. I got more gadgets, more buttons I've got to push now. But welcome back to the show. It's Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me if you'd like to join the show. A lot of stuff to talk about. By now you've heard about the nightmare, which is Southwest Airlines, an airline that I fly frequently. That is just a mess right now. It's just a mess. And I said last week before Christmas that I was glad, this was my quote. Something told me not to go on a trip for the holidays, and I'm glad I listened to something. That was my quote. And as I saw this debacle coming, didn't know it was going to be like this, though. I hearkened back to my nightmare this past summer when I went to see Anita Baker in Detroit and got stranded in St. Louis and was going to be stranded there from Saturday evening to Monday morning. And Southwest didn't give a damn about us. Okay? So I'm being real with you because, I mean, I just couldn't imagine being in that mess what's going on right now. So let me just quickly, and I know I probably told this story before, but let me just tell you what happened. So we flew into St. Louis. My flight arrived in St. Louis from Detroit about 4 p.m. My layover was going to be about 4 hours because the flight out of St. Louis to Little Rock was going to be at 8:30, somewhere in there. In the meantime, there were thunderstorms and everything, so it kind of held up a few things. So we went to the people at the desk, the customer service agent, said, hey, these things are being delayed. Are we going to make the flight? They said, yeah, you all right. Y'all going to make the flight. You all's flight is a later flight. Y'all will make it. In the meantime, 3 flights came in, and their flights had been canceled. We got nervous. So what they did for all of those people that couldn't get connecting flights, they ended up putting their I guess you could say putting them up in a hotel. Okay? That's what they did. And excuse me a minute, I'm checking my video here. So to make sure everything is okay with it. But anyway, they put all those people up in their own hotels. You should still be able to hear them. So when they did that, we asked, we said, hey, wait a minute, we're still here, and is the flight going to make it? And they assured us that, yeah, the flight's going to make it. They assured us of that. So by this time, it is about, 7:30. So they went ahead and canceled our flight about 30 minutes later. Well, they postponed it for 30 minutes and said, instead of being here at 8:30, it's going to be here at 9. So by this time, we're saying, wait a minute, we need some compensation. It's okay, well, we'll give you a voucher. They gave us a $14 voucher. If you've been in an airport, you know how steep that food is, right? $14 is not going to buy you much at all. So while we went to get something to eat, I got a text on my phone that said the flight had been canceled altogether, and we were going to, the next scheduled flight would be Monday morning. It's Saturday evening now. By this time, I'm back at the desk along with a throng of people, probably about 40 people at this point, screaming at the agents. We told you that flight wasn't going to make it. You should have given us hotel vouchers. They never gave us hotel vouchers. So consequently, I had enough. By the way, I was going off on them. The police comes up. Okay? They call the police on us. And the police comes up, Billy Badass, and says, hey, well, if y'all don't get this straightened out, if y'all don't do this, I'm going to start taking some of y'all to jail. So someone explained to the police officer what was going on, and he got mad at Southwest. I kid you not. So he got mad at Southwest. So I ended up having to, because I wasn't going to stay in an airport for, it would have been a day and a half. My back was already hurting. I have a back problem. So I go out and I look for the nearest rental car truck. I explained, dude, what my problem was. He said, man, I'm going to tell you, they typically don't give you rental cars if you don't have a reservation. He said, but I'll take you over there and talk to my man about it. He did. I explained to the guy at the counter. He then turned around and said, okay, man, I'm going to rent you a car. Hallelujah. Because I was in St. Louis. St. Louis is about a 5.5 hour drive from Little Rock. So I was just going to drive back the next morning. My next thing I had to do was secure a hotel room. So I secured a hotel room, which I'm a member of this Holiday Inn point system. I don't forgot the name of it, but I've been there for years because I used to work at Holiday Inn decades ago and buy this a lifetime membership. So I saw a Holiday Inn. That was the first place I went. I didn't even think about my membership thing. It was the closest hotel. I didn't know anything about St. Louis. By the way, by this time, it was almost 12 o'clock at night. All right. I'm just trying to get me a place to stay. So I go in there. They say, hey, man, I'm sorry. You don't have a reservation. Only thing we have is a suite. No, he said, we have one room. He said, we can put you up in that. They're going to charge me, $200, $199. I said, I was desperate. I didn't want to sleep in the car. I said, okay. Now, the point is that I had the money to pay for all this. The sad thing about it, that there was a woman there who had just come off vacation with 3 children, the youngest one being, about 5 years old. She had stated to them that she had spent all of their money. That includes food, everything. They were just flying back. They were supposed to pick up a connecting flight. They would have been home. She didn't have to worry about money. Unfortunately, their flight got canceled. She was crying, and I felt so sorry for her. And there were many other people who were upset as well. But I was fortunate enough because I saved my money. I had some extra money. Didn't plan for this to happen. I just happened to have the cash at the time. And I ended up getting a hotel room from the night auditor. I wake up the next morning, come downstairs, and the manager is there. And she looked at me and said, oh, you're the guy who had the problem at the airport. I said, yeah. She said, that was just so terrible of them. Tell you what, I'm going to comp your room. So she comped my room. So the only thing I ended up having to pay is $300 to rent a car. I submitted the claim to Southwest. They never responded back. I haven't gotten made whole yet. And yet I still fly them. This weekend was a mess. I was making a joke at the office earlier that if Spirit Airlines is better than you, then you have really fallen off. I saw a graphic, and Southwest, I think for the last 4 days, including today, by the way, they have canceled, and one day it was 70% of their flights, almost 2/3 of their flights. Then it was 68, 63. I think today was 62. 62% of their flights have been canceled. And people have been stranded in the airports all over this country. It's just, you're talking about Home Alone. Remember when Macaulay Culkin got caught up in the airport on one of those stupid movies? Man, unbelievable. I had a friend who was stranded in Seattle, Washington. You get that right? Seattle, Washington. I had another friend who was in Wisconsin, just moved up there, and she had the sense to and she texted on Facebook. This is why I know what happened. She texted on Facebook. She told the family, well, she's not gonna come home because she's afraid of what's gonna happen at the airport. Man, was she prophetic. Way to go, Doc Zuri. Wow, she was prophetic. Okay? But people are stranded all over this country. And when you look at the videos and things of that nature, I mean, to see the sea of baggage. People can't even find bags. Bags are in other states. They're in one state. Many of the people had medication in these bags. It's a nightmare. It really is. And every time I see a picture, I say to myself, oh, I'm so thankful that I did not make that trip. I was planning on it. I was planning to go see my granddaughter. Spend Christmas with her. Whew, man. I am so glad I didn't make that trip. Thank you. But it still affected me because my daughter is here in town. And last weekend, or weekend before last, I was in Dallas, so we drove to Dallas. So that wouldn't have affected me at all. Typically, that was the longest drive I've made in some time. I typically don't drive anywhere anymore. I used to a lot back in the day, but I don't anymore. I'll get on a bird in a minute now. But anyway, so my daughter was here in town, and she lives in Chicago. Now, Part of the problem, according to Southwest, is that their two major hubs, which this really doesn't make sense to me. Their two major hubs are Denver. Well, two of their major hubs, I should say, are Denver and Chicago. Chicago being one of the main ones. If you're flying anywhere east, they're going to, in all likelihood, they're going to either route you through at Atlanta or Chicago, Midway. Okay? I usually fly in the Midway. You don't want to fly in the O'Hare. Don't do that whatsoever. Just don't do it. Now, especially if you got to have someone to come pick you up. But anyway. So, both of their hubs got socked by this typhoon storm or whatever they called it. And that's, according to them, what caused all the delays. Well, there's always someone who's going to expose your lies when you tell them lies. And a lot of times it's your employees. And in this case, it was their employees, the pilots union for Southwest. And come to find out, they are using antiquated equipment, antiquated software that was used back in the 1990s. So what this basically did, so from what I understand, you have to, the flight attendants have to, and the pilots, they call some type of line, and it tells them where the assignments are. So you're going to go to this flight number, yada, 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 and y'all are going to fly out of Little Rock to Kansas, or whatever the case may be. Because the computer system glitched, their employees couldn't call in to the line to find out where they were going to be placed. That was the problem. It wasn't just the weather, okay? It wasn't just the weather, the way they want you to pretend, or where they want you to believe that it was. And the reason that's important, the reason it's important is because how they going to refund your money. Now, as I told you, my daughter was caught up in this stuff, okay? She got really caught up in it because she was here in Little Rock, and she was trying to fly out Monday morning. Well, no, Tuesday morning. I told her, baby girl, that's not going to happen. She gets to the airport, and they don't even tell her that the flight is canceled until she actually gets to the airport. So based on my daughter's career, she needed to get back to Chicago. Now, I thought about driving her, but that wasn't going to be feasible because we didn't want to get caught up in the bad weather ourselves driving up through the Midwest. So, but fortunately for her, she was able to catch a flight on Delta, and it cost $500. Okay? So, yeah, Southwest is a nightmare. It's unbelievably a nightmare. And it's going to be interesting to see how they compensate these people. They're going to be out of thousands. Oh, let me take that back. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. That's the amazing thing about this. And you got to feel sorry for these people. There are people, I saw a story where this one lady drove from Nashville, Tennessee to Los Angeles. Y'all know how long that is? I've actually made the drive from Little Rock to Los Angeles, to Las Vegas, and Seattle. I've done all three of those drives. And from Nashville to Los Angeles, that's like 30 hours. No exaggeration. Okay? No exaggeration. Another couple caught a bus from New York to Atlanta, hoping to get better flight options, and that didn't help at all, unfortunately. So it's a mess. And a lot of these people never made it to their destinations. They don't even have their bags. Yeah, Southwest, you about to pay up, brother. You about to pay up. I'm going to have to call y'all once all this calms down and see what my little compensation is. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices on joynetradio.com.
Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. The Coleman Collection is a bath and body care shop geared for healthy skin. We pride ourselves on using quality ingredients. From body butters to bath products, feel confident knowing we use the finest ingredients, forever natural, organic, and cruelty-free. Guys, let us put together a gift box for that special person in your life. The Coleman Collection has something for everyone, including our ever-popular beard balm and beard oil designed specifically for the man in your life. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. thecolemancollection.net.
Hello, this is gospel recording artist Tina Adams, and I'm so excited about my new EP that has just dropped on all major digital platforms. This music is going to touch your soul because it depicts and gives an imagery of everyday life situations. So go and be blessed. Again, search for See About Me by Tina Adams on your favorite digital platform.
Dynamic Dave for joynetradio.com. I'm inviting all small businesses to contact me at 855-525-5683 and let Joynet Radio set up an advertising package specifically designed with your business in mind. This is a great opportunity for small businesses to get your products on the air. Do you want to get the word out about a new business? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you want to advertise your event or social gathering? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you preach or teach? Do it right here on joynetradio.com. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at 855-525-5683 or go to joynetradio.com and review our great lineup of shows. Let's help each other and let's get your products in the hands of consumers across the country. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at joynetradio.com at 855-525-5683. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, welcome back to the show, Black Focus Radio. One more segment in this hour. Next hour, we're going to talk about this congressman and the hypocrisy. We'll get into that here in just a moment. Just a despicable individual. We're also going to talk about the gentleman who was arrested for smoking pot in the hospital because he has terminal cancer, doesn't have long to live. Said it helps him out. But I'm going to tell you, you can be sympathetic about his plight. But what he was doing was very dangerous. One other thing, let me just do one other thing about this Southwest. Because a lawyer, apparently, you know, them lawyers, they'll pop up anywhere. So here's what she's saying. So let's listen to this, okay?
Hey Southwest, it's Erica. I heard you've been canceling and delaying a lot of flights. So here's a video I made for your customers on how they can get compensated. Feel free to share it with them. Hey guys, I'm a lawyer and love helping you get the most out of your money, so here are 7 tips for you. 1, if Southwest cancels your flight for any reason and you choose not to get rebooked, you're entitled to a full refund, even for non-refundable tickets. They might try to give you a voucher, but say no to that because you're entitled to a full cash refund. 2, if your bag is delayed, damaged, or lost, the Department of Transportation requires airlines to reimburse you for any reasonable and actual expenses up to $3,800. For example, if your bag is delayed and you need clothing, you can go out and buy a jacket, shoes, whatever you need. Then save your receipts and submit them for reimbursement. By the way, they aren't allowed to set an arbitrary daily limit. Like they can't say we'll only reimburse you for $50 a day. 3, for any delays and cancellations not related to weather, Southwest will provide these 4 things for you. They'll rebook you at no additional additional cost. They'll provide a meal or voucher or cash if you're waiting for more than 3 hours. If you're waiting overnight, they'll provide a free hotel and they'll provide transportation to and from the hotel. Just search Airline Customer Service Dashboard to find this on the DOT website. Here are a few other things you can do. Just screenshot or save this video. And when Southwest inevitably asks, who taught you this? Just say, Erica taught me. She's a lawyer and reads the fine print, so I don't have to. That's why I follow her.
There you go. I told you, we drop knowledge on here. I mean, there are a lot of people who are listening to the show, different parts of the country, want to know how can they get their money back? Because this is a debacle, to say the least. I've never seen anything like it. And I don't know why seeing all those bags in the airports, it's some type of science fiction flick. You know? You know what I'm saying? It's some type of science fiction flick where it's like all of those bags in the airports, and it's like the aliens beamed all the people up. Where are the people? Oh my God! Ah! Wow. It's just unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable that this could happen in America today with all the technology that we have. And it just shows you over and over again how we really are behind the times when it comes to a lot of stuff. How we live in this illusion that we are so advanced. And then the slightest little glitch causes us to basically lose our minds. We've seen it over and over again. We saw it kind of segues into politics and January 6th. It just takes the slightest little thing for chaos to ensue when it comes to this country. Just amazing to me. It's just amazing to me. I'm hoping that that they can solve the problem. One other thing before we leave, and I've avoided this topic, that topic, I shouldn't say this topic, but the Deion Sanders topic for quite some time. Okay? I've avoided it on purpose. But I want to shout out to Ed Reed, you know, the safety extraordinaire that played for the Baltimore Ravens. And, of course, he also is a Pro Bowler. He's certainly going to end up being in the Hall of Fame. Wait a minute, I think he's already in the Hall of Fame, now that I think about it. He has decided to take the job at Bethune-Cookman, another HBCU. And you all know how I am about this, right? I think we need to, it goes back to our Kwanzaa principle, Ujamaa. It goes back to that, the cooperative economics. I tell you all the time that our number one commodity in our communities right now, and that's really in anyone's community, but more so in ours because our children earn so much money. Our number one commodity are our children. And we are pushing them to other communities where those communities are making money off of our children, and we get no return except seeing Jim Bob or DeAndre on TV. Hey, that's my boy. Oh, man, that's my dog right there. I grew up with him, man. I taught him everything I know. That's the only thing y'all get out of it. We don't get any of the economic benefit. So with black coaches, and particularly coaches who have some pedigree, and not necessarily coaching pedigree, but NFL pedigree, that hopefully will draw kids more and more to black colleges. It used to be that way. So I want to take my hats off to Ed Reed. I don't know what his motive is. I knew what Deion Sanders' motive was. And I'm hoping that this is not going to be a trend where these guys who were former athletes, former NFL stars, they want to coach, but they don't want to pay their dues, so to speak. And we see what's going on in the NFL. Look, the big question to me in this offseason is about Eric Bieniemy. Will Eric Bieniemy finally get a head coaching job? It's been going on 5 years now. Every year it said, we think Eric Bieniemy, look what he's done to Kansas City. He never gets a job. And maybe that's what Deion Sanders was thinking. He didn't want to pay his dues. So he went to Jackson State, used Jackson State to get a job at Colorado. Maybe we're going to see more of that. But what I'm hoping is the colleges that they use or go to, that they get some type of benefit, they being the colleges. And they just don't go, stay there for a couple of years and then walk away and leave those colleges with nothing. But I like this trend. I'm hoping more will do it. And I'm hoping more will start drawing these young black athletes to the black community, to these HBCUs. Because number one, you're going to graduate with a degree. And I'm not talking about some degree that they just done thrown at you. They make you work at them schools. They put it on you. I'm a father of a black HBCU alum. I know what they did for her. I know what they did for her. And we've got to make sure, as we talk about UJAMA today, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses and profit from them together. That's one of the ways that we can, as the clip I played with Tony Brown earlier, that's one way that we can create our own power. Their biggest fear right now is us coming together. That's what you all don't understand here. Their biggest fear is for us to come together as a people. Because think about this. Think about this. Look what we've accomplished with all the roadblocks that they've put in our faces over the centuries. All the roadblocks that they put in our face, and look where we are today. Just imagine where we'd be if we did come together. Just imagine. It's something to think about. It really is. So hats off to Ed Reed. I'm going to support you just like I support Edgy George. Hey, I supported Deion Sanders until he went down there and started acting a damn fool. We need more of this. We need our kids going to HBCUs. As we watch these bowl games, look at the number of black kids that are on the field. That's our UJAMA. That's our cooperative economics. It plays out every day when you see us on these football fields. We got to do more, and we got to do something about this. 855-525-5683 is the number. We've got to take the top of the hour break. We'll do that right now. Back in a moment as we talk about this lying congressman. Well, what else is new? Yeah, he's a Republican.
David W. Coleman here for Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and Rib Nuts. Go to ribrub.com, that's RIBBRUBB.com right now, and stock up on the best dry marinades for baking, grilling, and smoking your favorite meats. 3 great flavors, hot and spicy, original, and scorching. Try them at your next cookout and you will shout, bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah! Only one place to get Coleman's Dynamic products. That's riprub.com. Easy to order, and I'll ship direct to you or to friends and family anywhere in the United States. While on the site, be sure to check out other great items, especially the rib nuts. Who'd have thunk it? Peanuts sauteed in a barbecue marinade? That's just crazy good. Get them at riprub.com right now, along with other great recipes. That's riprub.com. If you don't like my rib rub or rib nuts, I'll give you money back. Do it today. That's Coleman's Dynamic Products at riprub.com.
Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. The Coleman Collection is a bath and body care shop geared for healthy skin. We pride ourselves on using quality ingredients. From body butters to bath products, feel confident knowing we use the finest ingredients, forever natural, organic, and cruelty-free. Guys, let us put together a gift box for that special person in your life. The Coleman Collection has something for everyone, including our ever-popular beard balm and beard oil designed specifically for the man in your life. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. thecolemancollection.net.
Hello, this is gospel recording artist Tina Adams, and I'm so excited about my new EP that has just dropped on all major digital platforms. This music is going to touch your soul because it depicts and gives an imagery of everyday life situations. So go and be blessed. Again, search for See About Me by Tina Adams on your favorite digital platform.
Dynamic Dave for JoinetRadio.com. I'm inviting all small businesses to contact me at 855-525-5683 and let Joinet Radio set up an advertising package specifically designed with your business in mind. This is a great opportunity for small businesses to get your products on the air. Do you want to get the word out about a new business? Joinet Radio is for you. Do you want to advertise your event or social gathering? Joinet Radio is for you. Do you preach or teach? Do it right here on JoinetRadio.com. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at 855-525-5683 or go to JoinetRadio.com and review our great lineup of shows. Let's help each other and let's get your products in the hands of consumers across the country. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at JoinetRadio.com at 855-525-5683. I'll talk to you soon.
The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
All right, welcome back. Excuse me. To the second hour of the show, Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me. And I've been promising you all for about a year. It's been about a year that we were going to do some video podcast. And we are doing it right now, believe it or not. We are testing it. After the first of the year, we're going to go full bore. Every show that we do will be a video podcast. We're just checking out, doing some settings, seeing how things will work out. We'll probably do some more backdrops and things of that nature. We're looking to get some advertisers, so you'll see them stream across the board here real soon. We'll make it. It's going to be really nice. So hopefully you all will stick and stay and don't go away and spread the word about some of the things that we're going to be doing here. And also, hopefully, again, here we go, cooperative economics, where we're going to bring some of your, hopefully bring some of the stuff to you and help people, get to know your business and things of that nature. All right? So that's what we got. So this hour, and we're going to spend a little time on this because, people want to get upset with me and mad at me when I tell people that the Rethuglicans have no morals. I think that's pretty clear now. Would you not agree? They have no morals at all. Case in point, of course, you know about the liar in chief, the insurrectionist in chief, the orange fruit in chief, whatever you want to call him. You knew then they had no morals, okay? How they cajoled him and condoned all the things that he did. You knew then they had no morals. All for the sake of power. All for the sake of power. Then, of course, you understand about these governors, the one in Florida and the one in Texas, sending migrants, and just dropping them off in various parts of the country. The latest one is from the governor of Texas, who shipped a group of migrants to D.C. on Christmas Eve in some of the coldest temperatures that we've ever seen in some time, and they had no coats, no shirt, nothing but shirts. Some of those people had T-shirts, and they shipped them to D.C. and just dropped them off at the vice president's residence. These people have no morals. And why someone would think this is cool, why some people would think this is okay, it's beyond me. Yeah, no, they're not American citizens. We understand all of that. Okay? We understand all of that. But at some point, they're human beings. And it makes me think back to now you understand how they did people in slavery. We know why. The why was the economics. But you at some point, regardless of what skin color some or one person might be, you would tend to believe that you would say, at the end of the day, that is a human being. But they were so steeped in white supremacy, they didn't care. And what you're seeing now, with them shipping these people different places, and the irony is that Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, had the nerve to send out a Christmas card. And I think it turns me off even more understanding that if you call yourself a Christian and you do things counter to what Christianity should be, there's no way you should call yourself a Christian. And I know nobody's perfect. I know there are individual faults. I know there are individual sins that people have every day. But I'm talking about what Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis is doing by busing these people to just anywhere, and particularly what Greg Abbott did on Christmas Eve. Because it was like -3 degrees in Washington, D.C., from what I was told. And you ship these people from Texas. It's cold enough in Texas, but you ship these people from Texas to D.C. to make a political point because you want to run for president? Wow. Why would I want you as my president? Why would I want you as my president? This midterm alone showed us what the American people thought about some of your acts. It didn't show us enough, But it showed us. And let's be honest. You say, well, we took the House. Well, you took the House simply because you had gerrymandered a lot of those districts. The American people don't like the Republican Party. They just simply don't. And we have to understand that. We have to quit pretending that everything is hunky-dory, because it isn't. This is why I call them the repugnant party or the Rethuglican party. And both adjectives are appropriate. They are repugnant because of how they view people. Because at the end of the day, forgetting about your political persuasion, at the end of the day, a person's humanity is what we should be concerned about. That's what we should be concerned about. Because that's what Christianity is supposed to be, right? I'm asking for a friend here because y'all know y'all are perfect. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Is to serve your fellow man, to feed and clothe and bathe your fellow man, to live a good life, to love. How are you loving and following the commandments of Christ when you ship a busload of immigrants to Washington, D.C. with no coats in 0-degree temperatures? How are you doing that? I know how you're doing it, because you don't really care about people. You care about politics. You want to continue to be that fat cat that's making money off the backs of people, because we know you're making money. That's what concerns us. That's what I'm talking about here. It makes no sense whatsoever. It doesn't. And why you people continue to vote for these guys, I don't know. But I'm telling you, this particular midterm, I believe it's changing. I heard a statistic the other day that in New York alone, 60% of the registered voters now, they vote as independents. They're not Democrat or Republican. They vote as independents. That's what we have to do all across this country now. Because Democrats lie just like Republicans. Democrats just haven't tried to take over the country. You understand what I'm saying? This is a serious matter. In the last, Obama took office in 2008. It's getting ready to be 23. So in the last, 12, 13 years, the Republican Party has put forth one policy that could help that could help people, period, let alone a particular community. Haven't put together one policy. They're already telling you in the House that all they're going to do is investigate. Oh, we want to hear about Hunter Biden's laptop. Nobody care about that stuff. Oh, we want to hear about Hillary Clinton. Nobody care about that stuff. But this is how they're governing. And I'm talking about this because I'm headed in a direction to give you proof positive that these people don't care about America. We already know Kevin McCarthy. He may end up being Speaker of the House. It would be one of the worst things that could have happened in American politics. But this is what the Republican Party is all about. This is what it's all about. This is why I can't, as a regular person, I can't support Republicans. I used to have Republican friends. I don't anymore, and I make no bones about it. You look, at the end of the day, my friends have got to have morals. How are you voting for someone who has no morals? Who doesn't care about an individual? How are you doing that? That's boggling my mind. Oh, well, I'm just going to vote for him because he's a Republican. God, what does that say about you? What does it say about you? That you're going to vote for someone just because they're a political persuasion, but you don't care about what they stand for. You don't care about their morals. The only thing that'll keep you from voting against someone that's a Republican is a child molester. Okay? That I hate to say that, but that is it. Because it's pretty clear now y'all will vote for anybody. You voted for an alleged rapist, an alleged racist. Yeah, Donald Trump was all of those. A flim-flam man. You know, y'all remember that movie, and you've got to be pretty old to remember the movie by, it was James Coburn, the flim-flam man. You had a tax evader. We know now that the taxes that you lied about and said that you were being audited, we know now that's not the case. You were never being audited. And then you influenced the IRS, head of the IRS, where every president is supposed to be audited every year to avoid a conflict of interest. And you influenced the IRS not to even audit you during the time that you were in office. Y'all voted for this guy. And then some of you all are still supporting this guy. What kind of morals do you have? What kind of ignoramuses are you that you would allow this to continue just so you can, oh, that's right, I forgot. Silly me. This is white supremacy, isn't it? Yeah, it is. This is white supremacy at its best. Because long as it's white, we okay. Y'all okay. Long as it's white, y'all are okay. It doesn't bother you. I'm going to prove that here in just a moment in the next segment. But I always like to go to this James Baldwin quote. We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. Y'all understand that, right? Y'all get that, right? See, this is why I can't deal with Republicans, because your disagreement is basically a denial in my right to exist. It's your oppression. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to make friends with you. I don't want to be, and I'm sorry, I hate that politics has gotten you this way. But what the Republican Party stands for is not what I believe in as far as just basic humanity. It has nothing to do with a political persuasion for me. It's just basic humanity. And these people don't agree. They simply don't agree. And why would I want to be a part of anything that they have to offer? Watch what happens in the House. Watch how this plays out. You're going to see with your own eyes how these people really are. You're going to see with your own eyes how these people, what they stand for. They have no agenda except to keep America as white as possible. That's the only agenda that they have. That's the only fear that they have right now is 2042 and this country turning brown. That's what all of this stuff at the border is all about. That's what it's all about. And it's sad. That's all they care about. 855-525-5683 is the number. When we come back, I'm gonna show you why what I said is so on point. It's so on point that it's despicable. But this is your today's Rethuglican party. We'll take a break. You're listening to Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices on joynetradio.com.
Synergy Insurance Group is the small business that we need to turn everybody on to. Javita Nelson is the expert advisor and licensed in 20 states. Synergy Insurance Group has been offering personalized insurance services since 1997. Call Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS. She can help you with old-fashioned personal service. Synergy Insurance Group is the one that you want and need for affordable insurance, specializing in burial plans that will allow you and yours to personalize your final expenses. Check out Synergy Insurance Group on the web at synergyinsgroup.biz or talk to Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS.
The purpose of this commercial is to promote various insurance products. National producer numbers 1661510 and 7529748.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's Durable Medical Equipment Company. Because of COVID, many of us have lost our jobs and are unable to feed our kids like we wish. If your child is underweight, 5 years of age or older, and on Medicaid, you may be able to get formula to help them regain their healthy weight. You will need a prescription from their primary care physician and give us a call and let us help. Our number is 501-663-1553. We are open 5 days a week from 9 to 5. Have your doctor fax your prescription to our fax line, which is 501-661-0738 today. Keeping your child healthy is our priority. That's Habibi's, your durable medical equipment center. We're located 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. That number again is 663-1553. 663-1553.
Hey guys, this is David Ashley, Deacon David Ashley. I want to turn y'all on to the Deacon Days radio show. It's a praise project. We're going to be playing music from inspirational artists and gospel artists from all over the world, never ever heard of. And also we'll be interviewing and asking them very pertinent questions to why and how they came up with their music. Don't forget, the Deacon Days radio show, it's a praise project. Saturdays from 10 to 11 on joynetradio.com.
Dynamic Dave for joynetradio.com. I'm inviting all small businesses to contact me at 855-525-5683 and let Joynet Radio set up an advertising package specifically designed with your business in mind. This is a great opportunity for small businesses to get your products on the air. Do you want to get the word out about a new business? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you want to advertise your event or social gathering? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you preach or teach? Do it right here on joynetradio.com. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at 855-525-5683 or go to joynetradio.com and review our great lineup of shows. Let's help each other and let's get your products in the hands of consumers across the country. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at joynetradio.com at 855-525-5683. I'll talk to you soon. David W. Coleman here for Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and Rib Nuts. Go to ribrub.com, that's RIBBRUBB.com right now, and stock up on the best dry marinades for baking, grilling, and smoking your favorite meats. 3 great flavors, hot and spicy, original, and scorching. Try them at your next cookout and you will shout, bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah! Only one place to get Coleman's Dynamic products, that's ribrub.com. Easy to order and I'll ship direct to you or to friends and family anywhere in the United States. While on the site, be sure to check out other great items, especially the rib nuts. Who'da thunk it? Peanuts sauteed in a barbecue marinade? That's just crazy good. Get them at ribrub.com right now, along with other great recipes. That's ribrub.com. If you don't like my rib rub or rib nuts, I'll give you money back. Do it today. That's Coleman's Dynamic Products at ribrub.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us if you want to join the show. I got on this kick last segment about morals and Republicans because asking for morals and Republicans is like asking a rattlesnake not to bite you. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't exist. It's not going to exist. Okay? It's just not going to exist. That's pretty clear now. And when it comes to these guys, morals? What's that? There are no morals when it comes to these guys. Case in point. You've heard of the debacle that's going on in New York. Who is George Santos, right? George Santos, I think he ran for District 1. He's a Republican elect. And come to find out that this guy just literally made up a resume and won a congressional seat. Now, there are a lot of issues with this. A lot. Okay? One being, there's no way that a black man could have gotten away with this. Because his resume would have been checked up and down, left and right. Nobody checked this guy. He's a white guy. Oh, we're going to just believe his word. But if this is a black guy, oh no, he'd have never got out of the starting gates. But this guy ran a campaign. The local media didn't check his credentials. The national media didn't check his credentials. None of it. He lied about the college that he went to. Okay? He lied about the jobs that he had. Said he worked for Goldman Sachs and Citigroup. He lied about all of it. His entire resume was a lie. Okay? His entire resume was a lie. And I'm going to read you some of this article, but the one thing that stood out to me that no one is talking about is what he said about his ethnic heritage. What he said about his ethnic heritage. And that was that he was Jewish. He was running in a predominantly Jewish area. He claimed that he was Jewish. When confronted about this particular lie, George Santos said, well, he's not Jewish, he's Catholic, but he's Jew-ish. Like, well, I'm kind of a Jew, but I'm not really a Jew. And No one is calling him out on this. When Kyrie Irving said that he was Jewish, he got suspended from his job. He had to go and apologize. He had to meet with Jewish leaders. All this crap. When in fact, when we go back and do history, Kyrie was right. It's part of the reason I'm playing this piece by Dr. John Henry Clark. Because even a lot of you black folks, y'all remember when Charles Barkley and all those crows started going in at Kyrie, calling him an idiot and this, that, and the other, because they were ignorant of Jewish history and culture. See, now more and more of this stuff is coming out. This history is coming out. These facts are coming out. You cannot deny them anymore. And neither can the Jewish community. But I digress. Y'all attack Kyrie Irving. Y'all tried to destroy this guy. Look, I've told you over and over again that I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan by any stretch of the imagination. But what you all attempted to do to him was nothing more than a castration and lynching, public lynching. But here's a white guy who used your religion as a means to further his political gain. Y'all not calling him out. Where are all the interviews? Where are all the reporters? Where are all the organizations calling for this guy to resign his position? I know the Democrats are calling for him to resign. But I'm talking about everybody in general. Where y'all be at? Here's what Santos said. It's been a week since everybody started finding out. The New York Times understood and did this article. But why are y'all just now posting the article? Why didn't this come out earlier on? I'm just wondering. Why didn't it come out early on? Santos says, my sins here are embellishing my resume. He admitted to lying about graduating from college and making misleading claims that he worked for Citigroup or Goldman Sachs. He once said that his family owned a real estate portfolio of 13 properties. On Monday, he admitted he was not a landlord. Okay? Santos is the first openly gay Republican to win a House seat as a non-incumbent. Okay? He says, I dated women in the past. I married a woman. It's personal stuff. Okay. With my sexuality, people change. This guy's a problem. The admissions of Santos, and this is from the New York Times, the admissions by Santos added a new wrinkle to one of the most astonishing examples of an incoming congressman falsifying key biographical elements of his background, with Mr. Santos maintaining the falsehoods through 2 consecutive bids for Congress. The first in which he lost. Do y'all understand this? See, he ran once before and he lost. So there is no excuse how you all didn't do your vetting on this issue. He ran the first time and he lost, and he ran the second time, and no one decided to go and look into his background. No one decided to question. And you know what? He probably said, oh, well, they're going to find out. But, you know, when you tell a lie, that old saying, when you tell one lie, you keep telling them, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if no one ever catches you or stops you, here we are. But it goes to something more deeper than that, and it's about morality. That this guy would easily tell these lies. It just rolled off of him like water on the back of a duck. Here's more. He said his mother, whose family lived in Brazil since the late 1800s, was a white immigrant from Belgium. Oh man, it just gets so. In interviews over the past few days, Santos admitted to lying about parts of his resume, including graduating from college. But he told the New York Post that the misrepresentation of his work history at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup was a poor choice of words. Now, wait a minute. You either worked at Goldman Sachs or you didn't. That's really the bottom line on it. It wasn't a poor choice of words. You either worked there or you didn't. And clearly you didn't. Unbelievable. Here's what he said about being Jewish. Santos also denied that he falsely called himself Jewish, claiming he never claimed to be Jewish, but jokingly said he was Jew-ish. He also falsely claimed that his grandparents survived the Holocaust and fled to Europe to escape Jewish persecution. Nope. The Republican Jewish Coalition disinvited Santos from appearing at any of its events because he misrepresented his heritage. Really? Is that all y'all gonna do? Does he need to pay a fine? I mean, does he need to go and meet with the high Jewish leaders? I'm just asking for a friend. Okay? I'm just asking for a friend. But what's the point in all this? Why am I bringing this up? Because this goes back to what I said earlier, is that these people have no morals. They have no morals. They don't care. They will lie, cheat, and steal to get whatever they want. I mean, look at what they have in Congress already. Louis Gohmert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Elaine Boebert. All of those people. All of those people. And that's just to name a few. Think about some of the ones who were trying to run for office this past year, this past election. These people have no morals. It's easy for them to lie and get what they want. But see, the media is part of this. I told you all this a while back. Part of the reason Donald Trump was elected was because the media adored him. The media adored him. I watch Morning Joe many mornings when I leave, before I leave. And I remember him being able to call in to CNN, Morning Joe. He had to pay no advertising. Oh, we got Donald Trump on the line. What say you, Donald? And they allow him to espouse his lies unchecked because he was a white boy. We just got to call it like it is. Okay? No one did any background check on Donald Trump. Even when the accusations came out about him being racist, no one harbored on that. They didn't care. It was Donald Trump. He was new. He had great sound bites, and he makes us sell. He helps us sell ads. He's great for the ratings. They didn't care because they have no morals. Thank God we got one party that has some morals, or at least pretends to have morals. That's questionable sometimes, certainly when it comes to black people. But this is what we've got. This is the Rethuglican Party. They're thugs and they're immoral. And why people continue to vote for them, I don't know. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And it shouldn't make any sense to you. This is not over. We have to continue to be vigilant and make sure that we can eliminate as many of these people in office as we can. Don't just throw your hands up now. The midterms are over and just forget about it. There are local races that's going to be happening all across the country over the next few months. You've got to get involved and you've got to stay involved because these people have one agenda, and that's power, and one party rule, and more importantly, minority rule. This is what they're trying to do, minority rule. And it's sad. It's sad. And we're asleep. We're not paying attention. This is happening right in our eyes. And we're not doing anything about it. We're just going on about our business. We don't seem to care. We certainly didn't care because this is how the Republicans were able to capture the White House and capture all the state houses. I'm still appalled that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a governor with a communications degree. It's kind of like Richard Hackett, who was the mayor of Memphis, and he was trying to put up his educational bona fides to Willie Harrington, Dr. Willie Harrington, and Bill Hackett only had a high school diploma. Nothing wrong with that. But some jobs require qualifications. Qualifications. And it's appalling that we have this person who looks like Jethrine Clampett, the governor of this state. It's just amazing to me. And you put him there. And a lot of these, let's be honest, a lot of those white folks, that's for us. They're not for you. They keep selling you a bill of goods to make you think they are for you. And they don't give a damn about you. They get your vote and then they vote against you personally. Remember last show I talked about socialism? Remember during the pandemic and everybody was talking about, oh, well, that's socialism. We can't give people money and they're not working. And look, those Republicans didn't care that you died. I was listening to a report about the pandemic, and they are projecting that Donald Trump caused the death by his ignorance and not accepting the fact that there was a pandemic. They're estimating that Donald Trump alone, based on his policies, caused the death of over 100,000 people. That was your friends, your relatives, your aunts, your uncles. And many of them were white. There's no pandemic. Yeah. I guess I got the COVID. And it was so bad. Y'all remember? It was so bad that there were people who were in the hospital with COVID, and you would ask them, would you take the vaccine? And they would still say, no, it's about my right. See ya. I wonder, if we knew right now, I wonder how many of those people would be in hell right now. And Donald Trump is still walking around free. Unbelievable. How long are y'all going to put up with this? And right now, with Santos, we haven't heard a peep from the Republican majority, or I should say the Republican Party, who is in Congress. We haven't heard a peep. This is a despicable individual. He lied about everything. And unfortunately, unless there's some law that they can pursue, he's going to be in Congress. And he's going to be welcomed with open arms by the Rethuglican Party. This is an abomination, folks. How could this be? How could this happen? In a party that claims to be about integrity. In a party that claims to be about the American people. No, if you don't know by now, the Republican Party is about nothing but individual self and corporate lobbyists. When you condone people being fired because of their hairdo, you're a piece of crap. That's why I call you the Rethuglicans. We'll take a break. Our last of the day. Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. On joynetradio.com.
Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. The Coleman Collection is a bath and body care shop geared for healthy skin. We pride ourselves on using quality ingredients. From body butters to bath products, feel confident knowing we use the finest ingredients, forever natural, organic, and cruelty-free. Guys, let us put together a gift box for that special person in your life. The Coleman Collection has something for everyone, including our ever-popular beard balm and beard oil designed specifically for the man in your life. Check out our catalog and order online at thecolemancollection.net. Look, feel, and smell better with organic products from the Coleman Collection. Thecolemancollection.net.
David W. Coleman here for Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and Rib Nuts. Go to ribrub.com, that's RIBBRUBB.com right now, and stock up on the best dry marinades for baking, grilling, and smoking your favorite meats. 3 great flavors, hot and spicy, original, and scorching. Try them at your next cookout and you will shout, bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah! Only one place to get Coleman's Dynamic products, that's ribrub.com. Easy to order, and I'll ship direct to you or to friends and family anywhere in the United States. While on the site, be sure to check out other great items, especially the rib nuts. Who'da thunk it? Peanuts sauteed in a barbecue marinade? That's just crazy good. Get them at ribrub.com right now, along with other great recipes. That's ribrub.com. If you don't like my rib rub or rib nuts, I'll give you money back. Do it today. That's Coleman's Dynamic Products at ribrub.com. Dynamic Dave for joynetradio.com. I'm inviting all small businesses to contact me at 855-525-5683 and let Joynet Radio set up an advertising package specifically designed with your business in mind. This is a great opportunity for small businesses to get your products on the air. Do you want to get the word out about a new business? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you want to advertise your event or social gathering? Joynet Radio is for you. Do you preach or teach? Do it right here on joynetradio.com. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at 855-525-5683 or go to joynetradio.com and review our great lineup of shows. Let's help each other and let's get your products in the hands of consumers across the country. Call me, Dynamic Dave, at joynetradio.com at 855-525-5683. I'll talk to you soon.
Synergy Insurance Group is the small business that we need to turn everybody on to. Javita Nelson is the expert advisor and licensed in 20 states. Synergy Insurance Group has been offering personalized insurance services since 1997. Call Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS. She can help you with old-fashioned personal service. Synergy Insurance Group is the one that you want and need for affordable insurance, specializing in burial plans that will allow you and yours to personalize your final expenses. Check out Synergy Insurance Group on the web at synergyinsgroup.biz or talk to Javita at 877-GO-LOVE-INS.
The purpose of this commercial is to promote various insurance products. National producer numbers 1661510 and 7529748.
Hi, this is Alvin from Havivi's Durable Medical Equipment Company. Because of COVID, many of us have lost our jobs and are unable to feed our kids like we wish. If your child is underweight, 5 years of age or older, and on Medicaid, you may be able to get formula to help them regain their healthy weight. You will need a prescription from their primary care physician and give us a call and let us help. Our number is 501-663-1553. We are open 5 days a week from 9 to 5. Have your doctor fax your prescription to our fax line, which is 501-661-0738 today. Keeping your child healthy is our priority. That's Habibis, your durable medical equipment center. We are located 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. That number again is 663-1553. 663-1553.
Hey guys, this is David Ashley, Deacon David Ashley. I want to turn y'all on to the Deacon Days radio show. It's a praise project. We're going to be playing music from inspirational artists and gospel artists from all over the world, never ever heard of. And also we'll be interviewing and asking them very pertinent questions to why and how they came up with their music. Don't forget, the Deacon Days radio show, it's a praise project. Saturdays from 10 to 11 on joynetradio.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us. If you'd like to join the show, we'd love to have you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. What was it? Okay, there we go. I was just talking about these Republicans, man. There is no end to their just patheticness, as I should call it. And I'm being kind. There's just no end at all. So, last story of the day. A terminally ill man hospital room was raided by local police in Kansas. This happened last week before Christmas, by the way. It was the guy's name was Greg Bretz. He's 69 years old, and he was in the hospital for terminal cancer, and the police showed up and raided his hospital. In fact, he's in the final stages of terminal inoperable cancer. Okay? He claims that he lies mostly on his back and can hardly move. And the only thing that he can use that will relieve his pain is pot. He makes sandwiches, THC toast. Ew, that's got to be nasty. And he smokes pot. And the police came in and raided his room and charged him with drug possession. And he's supposed to appear in court January 2nd. If he can't move, how is he going to appear in court? That ought to be interesting. The one thing about it, though, is I agree with the police. You say, well, Dave, you were just talking about empathy and sympathy. How is it that you couldn't feel sorry for this guy who has inoperable cancer and is using marijuana to alleviate some of his pain? Yeah, I understand that. But here's the problem. He was in a hospital. What's the one thing that fire doesn't mix with in a hospital? It's called oxygen. In those oxygen canisters. That's the one thing that you don't want around the oxygen tubing that's in those rooms, you could light that entire hospital up. You could just blow the entire hospital up. So in this particular case, sad story, no doubt about it. It really is. But at the end of the day, it's a no. I don't have cancer. I hear, and we know marijuana does a lot of great things medicinally. But in this particular case, dude, you can't be in the hospital smoking weed. You just can't, man. You can't be you can't be lighting a cigarette in those rooms. You're gonna blow up the entire hospital. And by the way, marijuana in Kansas is illegal despite 68% of the residents support state-sanctioned medical marijuana access, according to the National Organization of Reform of Marijuana Laws, NORML. It's time for people to stop this thing about pot. Okay? It's just time. I mean, smoking a pot is like taking a drink. Smoking a joint is like taking a drink. It doesn't do what people said it does. But apparently there are medicinal purposes for it. I know people who use it, who swear by it. That's part of the reason. Look, the American Medical Association has come down on the side that it does have some medicinal purposes. See, this is what you call ignorance. You're spending time on things that you really don't even need to be worrying about. And this is one of them, marijuana, or the prohibition of marijuana. Harry A. Matzling, I always think about him. Back in the 1930s, didn't want white people smoking pot because it made the white women want to sleep with musicians and black people. I'm paraphrasing, but he did say that. I'm curious how this guy's going to get to court, though. I really am. How is that going to happen? Because he can't get out of bed. He's basically immobile. What is he going to use to get to court? Can somebody tell me? This just shows you how ignorant laws are. What you should have done was given him a citation and been over it and done with it. That's what you should have done. But instead, what did you do? Oh, well, let's punish this guy. You know what? If I'm him, I'm not going to court. I'm not going to court. That's one time. Look, he's going to be dead in a couple of months. What are they going to do to him? You going to sentence him to prison? Is that what you're going to do? I'm just curious. How sad. It really is. How sad. Again, we have people in this country who have no common sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. And it's sad. It really is. All right, we got to get out of here. We're going to try to follow up on this story I pulled up about the TSA now wants to do facial recognition. Oh, man, we got a lot of stuff. Whoopi Goldberg is in trouble again. We'll talk about that as well. Got so much stuff to come up on our next show. I hope you'll stick and stay. Don't go away. Don't forget, we're trying to get this video together. You know, unfortunately for me, I'm a one-man band, so I don't have people pushing buttons for me. So I've got to do the best that I can in making sure that everything is done right and proper. And we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. Okay? Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just stick with the quote that I started off with? We got to get out of here. Hope y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time. And just remember, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. That's for the Republican Party. Y'all have a great day. You've been listening to Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices on joynetradio.com.